things. One Piadina store in Tokyo too.
Yes, and Piadina, yes. So I'd like to formally introduce to you Giorgio Matera. Giorgio.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, and I might be very sensitive as a chef. If you're not sensitive, you're not chef. And I will just say, I hope my food is an instrument and also a big wish for you. Wish you always, lots of blessing for your job, for your family, individual, and let's try to use everything we have as, the job we have, also for touching people and not just work. So let's make it more exciting. So for me, my best expression, of course, is it's food. Maybe my English is a little bit poor, but I will do my best to explain myself. So basically, as I said, the food is like language. Sometimes, when you eat, you will understand more. And also, I believe, I don't want to be so much, convinced about it, but just I believe that, maybe God give us the mouth not to speak, but first to eat. Because God knows sometimes how many times we do just by speaking. So it's just today, first of all, I am very grateful, for Evan and all his family and all the Piadina family that to have me here, emotionally, and I'm very much involved in this business. I share his belief, and that's why I'm here. So it's not just somebody taking over. It's something to do better. To share information and all the thing, or whatever is the best to do. So I'm here, and today I'm here to present also a new menu. My menu is always sometimes it's it takes time to understand, because basically since the beginning when I opened the first store here in Makati in Glorieta 4, I don't know if you have a back memory, about in the food outlet.
Yes.
That was, it was very, very difficult, because you know very well that, I was not busy at all at the beginning, and I told my wife that, this is a mistake we come here, because my wife was telling me, oh, you should have known, the Filipino, they like sweet, like this, blah, blah, the same stuff, And then I said, this is part of my life, I cannot just, I just say, give it away out of money. At the end of the day, I have to be happy. And I think with all of you, I'm sure it's the same, In the end of the day, it's all about that, everything else maybe matters or doesn't matter, but, you have to be happy and peace with yourself. And so, thank God, my wife said, you go ahead, you don't have to compromise everything. And then, suddenly, might have been because I remember very well, maybe I was the first one to serve something green instead of red all the time. That was the pesto. Yes.
He was the one who introduced it here.
So, and so basically, I would like to remind this. I think, my big supporter, what make a click of that, he was such a young boy that, almost was coming 3 or 4 times a week in Glorieta 4, because the mother used to tell me, my God, finally is the only things green he eats. And he loved it. So then, after that, so because I did not compromise and all this kind of stuff, so here I am, I am, doing my legacy. It's not about me. I don't really care so much, but it's about what I can leave behind me. We are just, all of us, we're just passing by. And as much as we can, let's do it our best. I'm presenting, this menu. Today we have the appetizers. We have different kind of pasta. You might have a question, especially when you read about something called, crespelle. Crespelle. Well, you are very familiar with, crepe, something like that. I don't want to sound like, we were the first or the second or the third. But all the food culture, gastronomy, it started in Italy and all over Europe because of one family, and that was originated from Tuscany, and it was called the Medici. So the Medici family, Caterina de' Medici, married the King of France. Of course, this is not just, you can research also, before Caterina, let's say the first person which tried to give a different touch to Italian food, it was Leonardo da Vinci. He's so famous about so many things, but I'm sure if you find out, before anything else, he was a cook. You can find out. He was a cook. And it was amazing that, if his first job he had, basically he's lost his job. Because at that time he was already doing something so avant-garde for that time, during the Renaissance. And you understand, people will not eat it. They want to have a meat and drug and something like that. But he was so much advanced. He quit the restaurant, or he was fired. I don't know about that. And with another famous painter, the one who painted the famous Venus. Yeah, the famous Venus, yes, this is Botticelli, yes. So Botticelli, at that time, with Leonardo da Vinci, they decided to open a restaurant together. And they became so strange, everybody, that, a very important family from Milan, that was called, the Savoia family. At that time, they were the biggest one. So they called them into court, and they asked them for cooking, without realizing then that the lady of that house, the noble lady, because they were sort of painting the menus they were doing. So some of them, at least what they say, I'm not sure about that, just, about what the history says, that basically they just started to ask, Leonardo Botticelli, can you take my, can you paint portrait? Yes, something like that. So I like, as I said, as a foreigner, I always use food, as a language. Even we don't understand each other, like, Tagalog, Italian, or whatever, French. In the end, it's like always there is better understanding, about culture, about food. And one thing is important, sometimes it's so difficult, because sometimes the client, the consumer, they might be brainwashed about many things, or nothing wrong about that. But sometimes it's like, when you concentrate about doing good food, you concentrate about the taste, you really feel like you have the life of a salmon that you always go against, So it's very challenging, it's very rewarding, and as Eva was saying, I'm blessed to have what I have, especially the job that I have. I thank God, for this job, because I've been using it as an instrument. It's nice, don't get me wrong, please, but it's nice because of the job. I have some Filipino, worker in Japan. They have the same salary of Japanese people. They have a house, they have a holiday, but I always tell them, I'm gonna bring here, but don't forget your country. Go back. I always say that. So, as I said, I will not become very, very sensitive about this. But the reason because I talk about this is because basically this is what I do with the food. And I don't want to compromise. I want to make it right. Because, the moment I start to do that, it's gone. So I'm really thankful, and it's not because I have to. I'm really, really thankful, that I found ever family, and we have a great plan, excitement. Of course, excitement is not that excitement that it's just like a fireworks. It's very good excitement. So I'm here. We are planning many other things, but let's start with something first. Let's start tonight.
Yeah.
With this food. So again, I hope you can I can express best of myself, and then I'm not interested that you think that I am something. So I'm more interested that you talk about my food than me. So as I said, I'm just an instrument. Just somebody who tried to make something to communicate and to sharing and stuff like that. So. As I said, best expression would be when you taste my food. If you have something to say or some questions, please. See, you will raise. Nice, good sign. Because rainy actually is luck.
Yeah.
This.
Thank you, Chef
Yes.
Giorgio. So I open the floor to you guys. Whatever you want to ask, whether it be food or you want to talk about Giorgio himself, I'm sure Giorgio would like to share himself. So I open the floor. Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, can you give us your culinary background? Were you a chef in Italy?
Okay.
Or did you just
So basically, since nobody in my family was a chef, my mother, maybe she's not anymore. She passed away. Maybe the best cook ever. Than any other chef maybe. And so my family has nobody in the restaurant business. And since when I went to hotel management school until today, I never changed because I love it. I study as a chef, as a management, as many things. I do chef. I'm also very on the creativity side. Creativity, it doesn't mean I don't do something strange. I bring back, food from long time ago, and I try to bring back in a plate. Sometimes I have to present it in a way that maybe people, they get more appeal. All my life, I'm always in the food business, and I have to be honest with you. I am not 24 hours chef, because I have many restaurants. I have to walk around. But every time we make menu, we have to do something, or we have to do some catering, so I make sure that I'm there. Hotel business management school, Switzerland, Germany, France, Monte Carlo, England, Japan. So that is all I've been doing.
Yeah.
That is my background. I'm part of the Accademia della Cucina Italiana, so it's the most prestigious, academy. So I'm a member of that. I'm a member of sommelier, and about 2 years ago, I received maybe, such a, honor, for the Italian government. So they made me, how you call that?
Honorable the knight, something like that.
Knight, Cavalier, because yes. So in Italy we say Cavaliere. Cavaliere, yes. So I was very happy for that because it's, and again it was, I don't believe it was just for me, and I also believe about, people that been working with me and support me. So this is basically since when I started to go to school until today, always in the food business.
Yeah.
So George, yes.
Sir Giorgio.
Whatever you want to say. Yes. In England they would say so. Cavaliere. Cavaliere, yes.
Why did you choose to put up a restaurant in your country?
Because I used to live in Japan first. Okay, I'm in fine dining and things like that. And then I was coming into the Philippines, and I was amazed to see guys who eat like crazy. You eat maybe before breakfast, before lunch, and then merienda, and I never seen some of my friends here. They have a fridge inside the bedroom. I never seen it. So midnight snack. Okay, I said, my God, this country is unbelievable. They must love food. You know, so then I decided to open. And actually I wanted to open, you know, what I believe I could do best, you know, like, you know, sitting down restaurant, having you, talk to you, how are you, blah, 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 all these kind of things. But then nobody knew me. And I was going, you know, to Ayala, and I was going to, you know, Galleria, I mean, all this mall, and you don't have a space, you don't have space. I'm sorry, you don't have space. And then the only space that was available, it was, you know, 20 square meter in Gorieta. So I had to reinvent about the idea what I was going to do with the 20 square meter. So thank God, you know, that things happen. And I have to tell you something, you know, this is very important, and maybe this is going to be the last, you know, emotional things I'm going to tell you. I promise. Then we'll talk about food. When I opened the food outlet in Gorieta, I was like this, with the apron. Before, when I was in Japan, and I'm not telling you because I want to tell you, it's because to give you pictures. You know, fine dining, you meet all the, you know, head of state. You know, I met I would say, your President Ramos during your, you know, when he came to Japan. I meet Bush. You know, I was the only one to make a, you know, catering Italian to the emperor and empress, and I can tell you many things. So when I started in Gorieta, there was one thing that, you know, something was not going, okay? Something was not working. And besides about the food. And my wife says, you know, oh, it must be you, you know, sometimes. Anyway, to make the story short, one time I was inside the food court, and if you're familiar which place exactly was, you know, I saw out of the blue some of my Japanese clients in Japan that I don't know why they were here. You know, they were some people from a very famous bank. At that time, it was Mitsui Bank, Mitsui Sumitomo Bank. And anyway, maybe they came for business. And somehow, I saw them in food court. And actually, I was so excited. I said, oh my God, I'm going to say, oh no, to Mr. Kaneko or Mr. Toyota. Oh. So then, they are approaching. Basically, they were approaching. And when it came about 5 or 6 meters, that I was basically say, how, you know, Suzuki-san, how are you? So when I tried to make the last eye contact, you know what I did? Can you imagine? I hide myself. I went down the counter. You know, I don't know why, but, you know, I was ashamed of the job I was doing. I mean, at that moment, like this, inside the, you know, behind the food counter, where everybody knows me in Japan, about what you say. And that was something that, you know, I thank God it happened. You know, I lie down about maybe for, you know, 5 minutes, and then I realized what really was wrong about me. I was so much pride, you know, that, you know, I was the best. Why the Filipinos don't like my food? Who they think they are? You know, my God, you know, they eat so, you know, so much junk. Why they don't like my food? You know. And then, you know, when I stood up, everything changed. So I started, I mean, people started to come, and then that's Easter. You know, we opened up the restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay, I read something, and then for other reason, I want to go back to Japan. So I went back to Japan, I opened a Piadina store, I opened a restaurant, blah, blah. And as much as I can, I don't want to stop. So now, as I promised, this is the only emotional things I'm going to talk about it. So I hope you don't make any other question about, you know, emotional stuff, okay? Yes.
You say use food as a language.
Yes.
With the new menu, what are you going to communicate to the Filipinos?
Actually, you know, every time, of course, I communicate. I try to communicate, you know, my passion. You know, because you know, when you're passionate about something, you know, you cannot keep passion inside you. You know, because it's going to destroy you. You know, passion is not to be, you know, to be stored inside because you cannot handle. No human being can handle so much strong energy. So passion, first of all, is to be given. You know, it's like a recharge. So especially, you know, I want to share my passion, you know, but you might say, how do you share your passion? There is no explanation. You know, passion is an energy. You know, so this is what I want to do. So I want to communicate, you know, in a way, you know, definitely, you know, to show my passion about, you know, what I like to do, and then I believe is very, very strong way of communicating. You know, of course, I want to communicate, you know, about, you know, the food, the history of the food. We talk about, you know, Medici, Renaissance, Leonardo, Botticelli. So I want to you know, how you say, maybe to prepare a path for you for when you go to Italy. You never know.
Yeah.
You know, so that's it's also, you know, communication. So this is, you know, what I'm trying to communicate, basically. You know, so.
What's the new menu about? Is there a specific theme and an inspiration or a particular region? Or?
Basically the new menu. The new items were about, you know, what I just felt. It's not specific. This comes from this, comes from that. Of course, within that you will find the Tuscany, you will find Lazio. Lazio, you know, you might know, you know, Roma. Lazio also, it's all the region around Rome. You know, you might find something also from Sicily. You know, so it's all about, you know, places. So it's all about, you know, where I come from. So it's not a particular, oh, this is like this, like this. So it's all about a journey, you know. I take with the food, you know, I give you just, you know, I just say, just a bite of what my country can be. So it's basically, it's all about, and then again here, you know, you cannot, unfortunately, because of season that you have in the Philippines, it's very difficult to do a seasonal menu. Because basically there is no ingredients, you know, all the season. So you have to try to do it for what you can. And then, honestly, so I do not want to invent things that does not exist. You know, I don't want to say this is the season now, this is the season now, you know. Sometimes, you know, I don't know, I just, you know, I wish I could make something very seasonable, you know, but it cannot happen. So it depends on what kind of ingredients you have here. And then the good, I mean, something about Italian food, you know, is you cannot fake. You know, people will know. And sometimes maybe not the adult, because what I experience, because the adult, we have already contaminated palate. You know, as I said, you know, some children, you know, we have also, for example, we open one store in a school. We were like so unbelievable shocked the way the children, they just like the taste. And that is to confirm that also ever while he's took over this operation, you know, I always was telling him about the school and so he opened one other Piadina inside the school, and again it's become crazy. Crazy means, you know, like, you know, the children, I mean, it's wonderful because, you know, it's very, I mean, it's an education, but it's very sincere, it's very genuine education. It's not education about, oh, you know, in Italy it's like this, you should do like this. It's nothing about that. It's education from the heart. It's passionate education that, you know, a child, you know, doesn't know anything, but they are so sincere, so genuine palate. They will be the only one to understand what very good or tasty food are. So we are very, very shocked, and I hope, you know, continue. And also, I'm insisting with Eva that it should reach each school. To, you know, it's sad to say, but, you know, food will kill you if you are not careful. But food can do the opposite. It can save you. So it's up to you where you want to be. And it is important to, at least when you're a young age, to have a choice, to know about that. You know, that's what I said, what I talk about education.
So based on what you said earlier, we are expecting traditional Italian flavors in this menu.
All the time. I'm just trying to, as I said, you know, I bring something from a region, from another tradition, you know. And again, you know, as much as I don't want, but with all my best, my passion, I have to try to adjust because, you know, the ingredients. So this is that, you know. I cannot say, oh, this is, because I'm Italian, oh, this is 100% Italian food. It's not true. It's not true. You know, you might believe, you know, you have restaurants, Italian, specialty, traditional, you know. It doesn't happen. It does not happen. You know, it cannot be. So that's for me, because it's a language, I try as much as I can. I try as much as I can with the spinach that I can find here, the tomato comes from Tagaytay or maybe from Baguio, or the basil. I try my best. But I cannot be, this is a traditional Italian restaurant, at least, oh please, you know, come here. It's not true. I would like to be sincere for what I do, through the food, simple as that. So I might not be like, good with my words to convince people this is very authentic, authentic Italian food. You see everywhere. Authentic. What authentic? No authentic. What is authentic? But maybe, authentic is okay. So, but so because I'm authentic, I'm Italian, I would like to be sincere. I don't want to be authentic because I cannot. I wish I had all the ingredients.
Yes.
But as the only things authentic can be, it's my nationality. That's the only things I can. And I try to do as much as the best I can with your country. That's all.
It's very unfortunate because you go out, all the ingredients are there, but when you're here, it's a simple thing like a fennel. We've been looking for it for the past few days. He came over. So Giorgio came over just 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And so he's been telling us a month ago. He was already emailing, telling me, okay, these are the things you need. So I've been looking until the last day he's here, and we're still saying we cannot find it. So that's a problem. But as a chef, very creative, he knows what to do, and that's very fortunate for us. There are a lot of imported ingredients from Italy. There are people who bring in, but unfortunately, with so many ingredients we're talking about,
But the ingredients that come here is most the dry one. It's not the fresh.
Not the fresh one. You'll find out, like for example, the spinach that we're serving this as appetizer. I was saying we would like to serve fresh, but then Giorgio was saying,
they are basic because of the the ground and things. It's not tasty. And then I said to them, you have to buy frozen. As much as I don't like, and again, that is the only way I can express myself. They say, oh, frozen, At least I don't care. I'm sincere. Because, the spinach that they are raw here, they don't taste like spinach. They taste, and then they have the taste of earthy.
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't wash properly, Something like that. So basically, it doesn't work,
It was on the ingredients, it says frozen spinach. Then I said, why don't we get the fresh one? No, don't do that. Because I've tried it, he's been here for the past 10 years. He tried using the fresh spinach, but so he said, no, use the frozen one. It's cleaner, the taste is better. So we offer what is better, what is best.
Chef, do you also serve organic menu?
Okay, so this is again, organic. I mean, honestly, organic has always been there. It's because we contaminate so much the world that now we have to go back. We have to do organic. It's a trend. It's a trend. For me, I'm not saying that organic food are other. No. It's a trend. But I tell you something. Here you grow organic tomato, and here they don't grow, organic tomato. So you think this is going to be best? The logs is so near, and they use pesticide, blah 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 blah. I mean, how can you call this organic? So again, it's all about being sincere.
Yes.
So of course, if I have 100% organic, I say, oh, this is fantastic, or I want to use it. It's nice, but I want to make sure that they are very organic. It's not just because now it's everything organic or ever organic, and then it's still the same stuff. It's not fair. It's not fair. Basically, it's not fair. I believe. So I'm not saying that everybody is using that. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, if I have to use something organic, yes, I would love to, but I want to make sure it's real organic. It's not just because they are, labeled organic. I want to make sure. That's all. But organic is good. Yes.
But what we are very sure of is everything is fresh.
Right. Yes.
Everything is fresh. It's freshly cooked. You taste it. You find out later.
And until today, I believe maybe we have a couple of Piadina. Until today, many years, so I always refuse to have a commissary. I never have commissary, and I never have microwave.
You won't find a
Forgive me,
microwave.
but I don't have. I just we do not communicate. Same as that.
We have ovens. And the oven, Giorgio specifically said, don't get the local ones, not because they're bad, but because they cannot produce we call it a refractory oven, where the brick is hollowed. It's not a solid brick, but it's hollowed, where the heat is evenly given out. So we can only find it in Italy. So that's the oven that we have. Yeah, we have to order it from there, so it's not as easy. It takes long, around 3 months. And Giorgio was explaining, it's like comparing a Toyota from a BM. How can you? Okay, I understand.
When it was fine, because last time I was here, he was telling about, he was over business in Xavier, something like this, He said, we do this, the oven like this. Over from Italy. Simple as that. Just like that. I mean, I'm sure, of course, your effort to make the dough, to do this, but sometimes the right equipment is very important.
Yeah.
So when you have, bibinka, you cook bibinka, I can't do it in the oven. You need special charcoal, nice. It's the same. It's exactly the same. So, first of all, if I have to say like the first appetizers, we have this. I prepare like a tortino. Tortino, you call a torta in here, or it can be also like a souffle. The one we are having today as an appetizers is the eggplant. Original dish with all eggplant is from Sicily, and the spinach. It's when you talk about spinach in Italy, it's from Latino. It's from not even from Tuscany, but especially from Firenze. Everything's Florentine. He has almost spinach, like ravioli Fiorentina, cannelloni Fiorentina. So these particular dishes, basically are made, are made like this, So from this, not so much from the region, also from a city, because Fiorentina, it means everything from Firenze. So then we have also like the involtino, involtino di maiale, which involtino means rolled, with pancetta, white pancetta. Pancetta is from Emilia-Romagna region. The pork in Emilia-Romagna region is very famous. Why? Because the prosciutto di Parma is very famous. So it's one ingredient, connected with other. It's not just okay. I have a pork or a pancetta. There's always something, the explanatory, behind every dish. I have, for example, I have a very nice dish from Rome, which you might like it, because as you know, one of the famous dish from Rome is the worldwide famous carbonara. Okay, and they made in a different way. So now today I presented maybe a different dish from Rome. I don't want to say it's like carbonara, but it's also creamy with cheese, spicy, a lot of peppers, something like that. So every dish this has this particularity about if I have to explain So this is all the small explanation that I can give about some of the dishes here.
There's an English version below, so it's basically everything is there. For example, it's written. Number 5, for example, crespelle di ricotta. Then how would you pronounce it?
Good pronunciation.
Yeah.
Crespelle di ricotta.
So it's a crepe with
mushroom,
ricotta cheese, mushroom, and mincemeat. So you'd find it there. As you eat it as you see it. So without much ado, I think I'll have them serve the food. Find your own place, enjoy the food. I'm sure there are wine also.
And then if you want to ask something while I'm cooking, you can do that. I'm not going to be upset with you. Because when the chef is in the kitchen, they change. They become different person. I promise I do my best. Okay.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
Grazie. God bless you. Grazie.